Hey everybody, Anthony here with your next Force Fable update. I've got Jordan with me this week.
Hey there, guys.
Alright, so this week we're going to be talking about the PlayStation Network, specifically PlayStation Plus, and a bit of the you don't have to pay for it service goes along with the PlayStation Network. And we're going to be pitting that up against Xbox Live. Now, some of you may know this, some of you may not know this. Jordan is 99% Xbox guy.
Yeah.
So he's going to be the one to bring up Xbox Live. A lot of the good talking points with that one. I happen to have both. I have a very generous wife who got me a PlayStation 3 for Christmas last year, and I've managed to have a lot of fun time with it, with PlayStation Network, PlayStation Plus, and so on. So I'll bring up that side of it. Why don't we go ahead and start with the one that has more of a fanboy following, I guess. We'll go with that with Xbox Live first.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that although like Xbox is my preferred platform, I'm not like biased or fanboyish or anything like that. So
He's totally biased.
Totally biased. No, I obviously know like there are certain aspects where the PlayStation Network is better, where PS3 is better, and then on the other hand, there's certain areas where Xbox Live and Xbox are better. So
yep, but before we actually get started, I want to go ahead and put this caveat out. We have our own personal choices that we like. This isn't one is better than the other. This is just what we've seen, what we've read, and just kind of bringing up both talking points. We'll leave it up to you guys to argue about it in the comments below. Just let us know what you think. Let us know which one you prefer. And go ahead, Jordan.
All right. So starting off, Xbox Live, you have kind of your two tiers. You have Silver and Gold, like they call it. Silver is like your free service, where basically you just have an Xbox Live account. However, you can't play online. You can't do like party chat or anything like that. But you can, purchase games and play them and everything through the Xbox Live Marketplace. However, if you pay the monthly or yearly fee for Xbox Live Gold, you get a lot more features. You get special discounts that Silver members don't get. You get to play online against other players in any game. You get cross-game chat, you get party chat, all those things. And then you also get access to certain other services that are available through Xbox Live. I'm thinking here like Netflix, HBO Go, things like that. Which, unfortunately, you have to have a gold account to use another account that you already pay for, which, in my opinion, is kind of a downside of Xbox Live. But along with that, then obviously you get like your multiplayer, which is a pretty big, draw for people who play on Xbox Live. I would say that kind of, like your cross-platform multiplayer games tend to be bigger on Xbox Live for whatever reason, namely Call of Duty. It by far is more popular on Xbox than PlayStation 3. But then at the same time, because you have a bigger crowd, you also get kind of your more immature gamers, which are, I think you would agree here, Anthony, they're more present on Xbox Live than they are on PlayStation.
Absolutely, yeah.
The fortunate thing about that is, particularly for the next generation of Xbox, Xbox One, Microsoft is taking steps to actually wean out all of these immature people, all of these trolls, as the internet calls them, by basically introducing a ranking system, like a community level sort of thing. If you get bad reports filed against you, you'll actually get put into a certain group where you'll get matched up against other people who troll. So you'll start playing against people who are doing the same thing as you, and that's kind of how they're going to start controlling that. That's not implemented yet, unfortunately, but it would be trolling the trolls. Yeah. So yeah, we've covered multiplayer. That's pretty self-explanatory. We've covered cross-game chat, which is actually a pretty big plus towards Xbox Live. To my knowledge, is it still not available on PlayStation Network?
Not their goal with PlayStation 4 is that it will become available, but as of right now, unless you have PlayStation Plus, there's no chat.
Yeah. And then recently, with PlayStation's introduction of the PlayStation Plus program, you get a certain number of games each month for free. They're actually like full-on like blockbuster. Some of them are only a year old games. And Xbox's kind of response to that is games with gold or games for gold. Basically, every month you get 2 free games, which again doesn't compare to PlayStation Plus. The first month was pretty lackluster. However, this month things are starting to get better. You get Crackdown for free, and then you also get Dead Rising 2 and Dead Rising Case 0 as digital downloads. And whereas with PlayStation Plus you have to stay subscribed to have access to all of those games, for Xbox Live games with gold, as long as you add them to your download queue, you don't even have to fully download them. As long as you add them, they're basically yours forever. So those are kind of like the basics of Xbox Live, the positives, I guess, at this point in time. So why don't we hand it off to you, Anthony, and you can give us the rundown of PlayStation.
All right. One of the biggest complaints, or not complaints, but one of the biggest talking points people have, Xbox Live versus PlayStation Network or PlayStation Plus or whatever, just, is the networking aspect and the physical ability for the device to stay attached to a well-grounded network. A lot of people want to side with Xbox 360, and before I go any further, you have to understand that regardless of what console you have, if you have a crappy internet service, it doesn't matter what console you have, you're going to have a crappy connection. You're going to drop out all the time. You're going to whatever. I've had the same internet service using both devices, and I will tell you that as far as wireless is concerned, my Xbox will drop out far more than my PlayStation does when on the exact same wireless network. I've actually done control tests, same time frame, same time period, same workload, either just on the dashboard of either system or playing the exact same game, because there's a couple of games that I do have that are both for Xbox and PlayStation 3. The network is a lot sturdier on the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation Network in general that I've noticed than it is on Xbox Live. The other thing, and Jordan touched on it before, the free games aspect. When he said that these are big titles, whether you like the titles or not, they're still considered double or triple A titles. Recently, if you had a PlayStation Plus, you were able to get Deus Ex: Human Revolutions for free.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, that included the Missing Link DLC that went with it. That's a pretty big deal. I know that Xbox just started with their, big deals. They're starting to come around, but PlayStation Plus has been doing these for a while. Xbox Live is probably going to have more of a certain set of games for free or for a discount or whatever, whereas, the PlayStation Plus is going to have another set. But I think to me, and this is actually a pretty big deal. It all boils down to personalities, and I will have to say that the PlayStation Network, PlayStation Plus, whatever, caters more to a mature a family or a mature group of individuals, whereas Xbox Live, Gold, whatever, caters more towards the casual / social aspect. Where you get a lot more 10-year-olds playing Call of Duty and no other game ever, whereas PlayStation Network, I don't know, there's just far more maturity that I've seen anyway.
Yeah.
And despite what we've said about Gold, about PlayStation Plus, there's going to be plus and minuses for all of them. We still haven't even brought up the Master Race.
Oh God, not even a fair comparison.
It isn't. It really isn't, which is why I'm bringing it up. So PC, networking is probably the easiest to do. And then on top of that, you've got systems like Steam and Origin that kind of trump what PlayStation Plus or Xbox Gold could ever really hope to do.
Yeah.
You're never going to see the summer sale on Xbox Live Gold with games 75 to 80% off, like big title games, 75, 80% off. You're never going to see that. Likewise, you're not going to see that kind of thing on PlayStation Plus. So there's definitely something to be said for those services as well. But that's an entirely different topic that we could spend several episodes talking about.
And see, I think one of the biggest bonuses here is all around. Like, as these different services, as PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, and Steam, just adding that in there, start to introduce new features. For example, like Xbox in the next generation is going to have basically sharing of your digital library, so your digital games. PlayStation Network is going to have a lot of sharing capabilities. And then Steam has all those discounts. As time goes along, these services are already starting to show that they're kind of borrowing from each other. They're because of the competition aspect, they're going to start introducing new features. And honestly, it's to the point where consumers are basically only winning regardless of what platform they're on. Specifically, like Steam now, they've basically said, I've read in a few articles, they're basically seeing how well the essentially the license sharing on Xbox Live is going to go, and then there's been talk about introducing that, like Steam game sharing, into Steam. And then on the same hand, like Xbox Live is now offering that free game service, just like PlayStation Plus. Obviously, it's not up to par, and I would be utterly shocked if they don't carry it on past their originally stated December time frame. But that's just an example of how these services are starting to kind of put pressure on the companies to start introducing more features to their customers.
Exactly, and to end this, it's not one is better than the other. Everybody's going to have their own taste. Just because I have knowledge of the PlayStation Network doesn't mean that I prefer the PlayStation Network. Just like what Jordan said earlier, just because he has extensive knowledge on Xbox Live and Xbox Live Gold and all that kind of stuff doesn't mean that he's specific to that console or that network. Really, the only thing that's going to keep a consumer on one side or another is going to be things like price. It's going to be things like customer service, and it's going to be the game titles that are specific to each console. Because, like what Jordan just said, every stream service or every this, that, and the other, they're all starting to borrow from each other. Everybody's borrowing from everybody else, so we're not trying to dictate which one's better, which one's worse, whatever. We leave that up to you guys. Post those comments, post those statements, ignorant or educated, doesn't matter. Throw them down in the comments below. All right, well, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you guys lasting this long, and we look forward to seeing you next week.